Jennifer Sheffield's story is one that continues to haunt everyone who has heard it. Friends describe her as intelligent, caring, and full of hope for future. She was known for her kindness and dedication to the people she loved. Even as she faced one of the most difficult periods of her life, the end of her marriage, Jennifer appeared determined to move forward with grace. Publicly, she spoke about keeping the separation from her husband, Brandon Sheffield, civil and focused on family. To those around her, it seemed she was handling a painful transition with strength and maturity. There were no obvious signs of danger, no public disputes, no dramatic warnings that something terrible was about to happen. Yet within weeks, concern began to grow when Jennifer suddenly stopped responding to those closest to her. What started as unanswered messages soon turned into fear. Family and friends could not have imagined what authorities would discover during a welfare check. The tragedy that unfolded would leave a community searching for answers and wondering whether anything could have been done differently. Tonight, we take a closer look at the lives of Jennifer and Brandon Sheffield, the events that led to their separation, the devastating discovery that shocked everyone who knew them, and the investigation that followed. This is the heartbreaking case of Jennifer Sheffield. Before tragedy struck, Jennifer and Brandon Sheffield appeared to be building a life together like countless other couples. They shared responsibilities, plans, and hopes for the future. Friends often describe Jennifer as compassionate and dependable, someone who was always willing to help others. She maintained strong relationships with family and was deeply invested in the people around her. At some point, however, the marriage began to experience difficulties. While the exact details of their private struggles remain largely unknown, the couple eventually decided to separate. Separation is often an emotional and stressful process, but Jennifer reportedly wanted to handle the situation peacefully. According to those who knew her, she focused on maintaining respect and stability during transition. Public comments suggested that she hoped to keep things civil and avoid unnecessary conflict. From the outside looking in, there seemed to be little reason for alarm. Many people assumed the couple was simply navigating a difficult life change. Friends offered support and expected Jennifer to emerge stronger from the experience. Like many people facing a major transition, she appeared focused on rebuilding and moving forward. But relationships are complex, and much of what happens behind closed doors remains invisible to even the closest friends and relatives. As Jennifer adjusted to life after separation, nobody realized how quickly circumstances would change. What appeared to be a challenging but manageable chapter was quietly moving toward a devastating conclusion that would leave loved ones in shock. As the days passed, life seemed to continue as normal. Then something happened that immediately raised concern among Jennifer's family and friends. Calls went unanswered. Messages received no response. For many people, this might not seem unusual, but those who knew Jennifer understood that this behavior was out of character. At first, loved ones tried to remain optimistic. Perhaps she was busy. Maybe she needed time alone. There could have been any number of innocent explanations. But as communication continued to go silent, concern grew into genuine fear. Friends and family members began asking one another if anyone had heard from her. The answer was always the same. No one knew where Jennifer was or why she had suddenly disappeared from contact. Eventually, the concern became serious enough that a welfare check was requested. Welfare checks are routine actions taken by law enforcement when someone cannot be reached and loved ones fear for their safety. In most cases, the situation ends with relief. Officers locate the person and confirm that everything is fine. But this case will be different. Authorities arrived expecting to determine why Jennifer had not been responding. Instead, they encountered a scene that immediately signaled something was terribly wrong. What began as a simple attempt to ensure someone's safety quickly transformed into a major investigation. The fears of Jennifer's loved ones were about to become a devastating reality, and the community would soon learn that an unimaginable tragedy had occurred. The welfare check revealed a heartbreaking scene that stunned investigators and forever changed the lives of everyone connected to Jennifer Sheffield. Officers immediately recognized the seriousness of the situation and secured the area as investigators began their work. News of the discovery spread rapidly among friends, relatives, and community members. Many struggled to process what they were hearing. Just weeks earlier, Jennifer had been discussing her future and focusing on moving forward after her separation. Now, those same people were left grappling with a tragic reality. As investigators examined the scene, questions emerged almost immediately. What exactly had happened? When had it occurred? And perhaps most importantly, why? Detectives began collecting evidence, documenting every detail, and working to establish a timeline of events. Every piece of information mattered. Witness interviews, communications, and physical evidence would all play important roles in helping authorities understand the circumstances surrounding the tragedy. For family and friends, however, the investigation could not erase the pain of loss. They remembered Jennifer as someone full of compassion and promise, making it difficult to reconcile the tragedy with the person they knew. The discovery also sparked conversations about whether there had been warning signs hidden beneath the surface. Yet many who knew the couple admitted they had seen little indication that anything so devastating could happen. As investigators continued their work, one thing was certain. The case would leave lasting scars on everyone involved and raise questions that would remain difficult to answer. In the days that followed, investigators focused on reconstructing the events leading up to the tragedy. Cases involving family relationships often require careful examination of timelines, communications, and witness statements. Detectives worked to gather every available piece of evidence to establish exactly what had happened. As details emerged, public attention increasingly centered on the separation between Jennifer and Brandon Sheffield. People wanted answers. Friends and community members searched for explanations that might help them understand how a situation that appeared manageable from the outside could end so tragically. Investigators reviewed information methodically, avoiding speculation and focusing on facts. Their goal was to determine the sequence of events and uncover the truth behind the heartbreaking discovery. Throughout the investigation, loved ones faced a difficult process of grieving, while also waiting for answers. Many found themselves replaying past conversations and interactions, wondering whether there had been signs they failed to recognize. This reaction is common in cases involving sudden tragedy. People naturally search for clues that might explain the unexplainable. Yet experts often note that not every tragedy presents obvious warnings. Sometimes those closest to a situation are left genuinely shocked because the outcome seemed impossible to predict. As the investigation progressed, authorities continued piecing together the final chapter of Jennifer's life. The process was painstaking and emotional, but it was essential for understanding what had occurred and providing some measured clarity to those left behind. The case of Jennifer Sheffield remains a heartbreaking reminder of how quickly lives can change. Beyond the headlines and investigation, there was a woman whose life touched countless people. Friends remembered Jennifer as compassionate, thoughtful, and committed to those she loved. They remember her optimism, her strength, and her desire to move forward despite personal challenges. Her loss left a void that can never truly be filled. Cases like this often capture public attention because they raise difficult questions about relationships, warning signs, and human behavior. Yet, sometimes there are no clear answers. Sometimes tragedy arrives without the indicators people expect to see. For those who knew Jennifer, that reality has made the loss even more difficult to process. Her story serves as a reminder of the importance of compassion, communication, and support during life's most challenging moments. It also highlights how little we may know about the private struggles taking place behind closed doors. While investigators worked to uncover the facts, family and friends were left with memories of the person Jennifer was and the future she deserved to have. Today, her story continues to resonate with those who have followed the case. It is a story of loss, unanswered questions, and a lasting impact one life can have on so many others. Thank you for watching. If you found this documentary informative, consider subscribing for more true crime stories and share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below.